nails, hair, hips, heels, ass, fat, lips, real, purse, full, big bills, bitch, I'm a big deal. Legs, face, eyes, thin waist, thick thighs. You, me, you wish. New phone, who this? Pussy, puss, give 'em cunt, bitch. Mama, yes, star, then you pop that tongue, bitch. This whole club is my runway, run, bitch. Y'all 5, 4, 3, 2s, I'm a one.
Hi guys, my name is Aubrey. I'm with Aubrey's Tacos and Tortas. I'm also the educational director for Texas Latino Pride. And I'm also the secretary for Stonewall Tarrant County Democrats here in Tarrant County. Today, I'm very fortunate to have some bartenders that have been around the LGBTQ area of Fort Worth for over 20 years, right?
Longer than that.
Longer than that. We're going to hear some stories today, how it's been like, growing up, because we're all still growing and we learn every day. And so we're going to hear some stories, and I want to hear everything from you guys, your experiences, how it's been, what it's been like working around the gay bars here in Fort Worth. Being trans back in the day, it was very few that you would see. And, you had all your drag performers. And I know growing up, I grew up around Lauren LeMaster. Erica from the South Side used to perform a lot at Magnolia Station. And one of the first gay bars that I ever went to was Magnolia Station. Mm-hmm. That's how far we go back. But we have Kevin, Chris, Bartisha. We know Bartisha back from Changes now that you're still bartending there. Yes. And if you ever go to Changes and run into Bartisha, she might be wearing a wig or two.
Maybe.
So we're going to start with you. And tell me. Preston. And tell me, like, where did you first start? Where was the first gay bar that you worked at here in Fort Worth?
It was actually it was the Lumber Company, which was right across the street from the 651. It was the crossroads of different things over the years, but that's where I went to work for the company that owned the 651.
Wow.
And I eventually moved across the street and back and forth over the years. And
okay. What year did you start working around there?
Well, at the risk of, because I was only born not too long ago. I hate being put on the spot on years. It just pisses me off. No, I started work there in 1982.
Wow, 1982. And what was the first gay bar that you started working at?
Working at was probably the Crossroads, but I don't even know what year that was. But I moved here from Arkansas in 1980 to go to college. And the first bar I went to was the other place out on Henderson Street, which Big Mama owned, or TJ Holloman owned. And Big Mama worked there, and Wilma Faye and all that. But as far as working in the bars, I didn't start working in the bars until, I don't even know what year it was, but I started working at the Crossroads for Robbie Eakin, Little Rob, I called him.
Oh. And you, Chris?
My first bar in the community that I worked at was actually with Bart at the 515 Crossroads.
Oh, nice.
It was formerly Crossroads, but it was 515 when I started.
Nice. And you, Kevin, what was the first bar that you started working at?
Best Friends Club around 2003.
2003, Best Friends. Oh, I forgot about Best Friends. Like, I forgot about, I didn't go to Best Friends much, but I did happen to go every once so often, and sometimes the lesbians were a little intimidating, so I would leave and go somewhere else. But that one video of you that surfaces around every year.
4th of July.
Oh, it was on 4th of July? Mm. Where you had an issue with one of the customers. And
yep.
We'll have to find that video and post it along with one of the clips later on. We'll make sure to throw that in the edits. What was it like for you working around the gay bars back, say, early, late, mid 80s?
Well, I mean, it was. I was shy and kind of naive at the time. It changed a lot over the years, but But that, you know, the mid 80s and early 80s was when the AIDS epidemic started, you know, and that was life changing for the world, really. And it was scary for us as bartenders because, you know, nobody knew anything. And I remember the first person that came in the bar that had AIDS, and we were all, you know, just on pins and needles, didn't know what to do. I mean, and when he got through drinking, I mean, we threw the glasses away. We didn't, you know, we didn't know what to do. And you know, it just kept going and kept going. And, you know, it took a long time. It really did to get to where you could understand it enough to not be completely scared of it. But for years, that's what it was. It was just everyone was petrified because everyone was dying, you know, in the gay community, and it was, you know, it's hard to lose somebody you know or a friend or something like that, but it was getting, you know, it was a daily occurrence, and nobody knew why or what to do about it.
I know, Bartisha, earlier you were saying back in the 80s, and a lot of the people have seen the show Pose. If you haven't seen the show Pose, go see the show Pose, because even some of the younger generation still hasn't seen that show, and that show alone is very eye-opening of how it was growing up around, you know, the gay bars, gay clubs. Bartisha, you were mentioning earlier that AZT was
The first about the first medication they started giving the people, and which it was killing people left and right too. I mean, it was just they didn't know what, you know, they were just trying whatever. And I mean, I was a pallbearer 2 days in a row, and I just went, "This is too much." I mean, you know, and it was because like he said that our friends were dropping dead left and right. I mean, like every day there was somebody else either gotten sick or found out they were sick or passed away. It was horrible.
that is true. It's been, I know, hearing that is very it's a reminder of like everything that we have gone through growing up, you know, my age, you know, being 41, it's the life expectancy for a trans woman is 30 to 35. A woman of color, trans woman, 30 to 35. And I'm at 41 now. So earlier when we were talking about some other people that have died and passed, and it's like we're still here. It's like, at what moment is it going to happen, or will it happen? And you know, we all have to live still in fear, and we have medication out there, but even then, you know, you slip up once and, you know, can come and get you. And
Yeah.
it's a, you know, people called it COVID pandemic, and it's like, no, we still have a pandemic. We've had this pandemic growing up, you know.
Yeah, when I'm sorry, when COVID came into play and stuff like that, in a lot of ways, it just took me back for a little bit because it was like going through the AIDS thing over again, except for it was, you know, positioned a little different. And people were going through basically the same things that we were going through back then. And nobody really understood that, you know, that how isolated you can feel, you know, even if you're around a bunch of people, you know, I mean, it's if you're the one who has it, then, you know, it's you don't want to do anything or say anything because you're the one who's bad, you know, and it's, you know, it felt a lot like
I think that people educating themselves now to knowing that you aren't going to die, that you are, you know, that there's medication out there. It's sadly, people still think the same way that they used to think back then, but now there is medication out there.
Yeah.
There is life saving, you know,
Well,
resources
back
that
then it was a death sentence. If you found out you were HIV positive, you're going to die. Otherwise, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. That was, you're going to die. That's it.
And as a child of the 80s, that's all I knew growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I think a lot of people always feared and weren't educated. And now with all the science that has been put behind it, we can think a little bit different. I can drink from the same glass that somebody, is HIV positive. I'm not going to die. I can use the same fork or same spoon, or it doesn't matter. And even, going back to where you couldn't eat from the same fork, the same straw.
Hold hands, touch, everything.
with
You
them,
had no
everything.
idea. You had no idea what, no one knew how you got it,
And Kevin, have you lost friends?
Oh, I've lost many, but I still think, along with what we're talking about, I still think that there's many, even people I work with today, still make comments that are degrading.
Insensitive
Yes,
and degrading, yes.
and that is people I work with today.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad. And we have to continue educating people, and knowledge is priceless, and we're able to share that with the younger generation that now are out freely doing what they want, but they don't remember that you guys, that we have fought every single day, and that we continue to fight for a difference, to have equality, for them to be able to go get married. Because behind us, there's been people that have been fighting for years. And that fight has never stopped, and it can't stop now.
Right.
Right now is when we have to fight even more. But working at the bars, what is some stories that are memorable or that impacted your life? Something that you can honestly say and remember that, this was a moment that honestly, this is the reason why I'm still doing this. Because some of you guys have been around this industry for a long time. A very long time. And it can put a toll on you. It can put a toll on you. But I want to hear those stories because, honey, working at a bar is not easy.
It's not. And everyone thinks it's so easy. Oh, that'd be so. I used to think that. I used to think, oh, it'd be so fun to be a bartender. Blah, blah, blah. You have no idea what you're getting into when you become a bartender.
I mean,
because you're dealing with these people that are, first of all, they're going to be drunk. They're not ifs, ands, or buts, but they're going to be drunk. And certain times they act different. Personalities completely change, everything. And you have to deal with this one and that one and keep this one away from that one and that one from this one. And it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And deal with all these. It's all me.
And it's like, when you have a customer, it's like, well, the customer's always right. Well, there's one thing working at a straight bar, and there's one thing working at a gay bar. And they're both, believe me, it is not the same. And then we have straight people that come into the gay bars, and we're like, what are you doing? Like, no, right? I mean,
yeah.
But it is very different. It takes a toll, and you guys have been around these bars for so long and have memories. And so I want to hear some memories, something that, gives you the reason to say, you know what, this is why I'm still here. And this is why I continue to work at the bars. Because every time I go see you, Bartisha, it's always a different character. And you bring that for the customers. You show that, and you serve me a drink with one wig, go back and come back with another wig. And it's like a whole different...
That's because Rustin goes to this place and gets his wigs so cheap. They're brand new wigs and gets a great price on them. And he keeps bringing them in and going, here. You have to entertain your customers. You have to,
Absolutely.
And they're not there to just... they're there to be entertained or to have a good time. So,
or to listen to.
Yeah. Or to be listened to, yeah.
The best thing is to watch people come in that don't know us or know anything, and there he is, with his mustache and beard, and and then this horrible long blonde wig.
Whatever he's gotten now.
It's been ran through.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Sometimes, yeah.
So Kevin, what's something memorable that you can remember? You know, the years that you've been working.
Something that sticks out as a bartender.
I don't have anything specific. I mean, there's just been so many different things that make you go, "Oh, okay, this is why I do this." From breaking up a fight, from trying to soothe a couple that's having a disagreement at the bar, knowing we're making a difference if somebody comes in and doesn't know anybody.
That happens a lot.
And it does, and just to have a conversation with them, to make them feel welcomed. To make them feel like, hey, I'm not here to judge you. And you get that a lot. I mean, I work day shift and it's a different animal than night. Chris is more night, and that's a high volume. Where daytime, you have to be a little more personable with your customers.
Oh yeah, you gotta basically be their best friend.
Yeah.
And
it's a
Because
totally
a lot of
different
the daytime people are looking for a best friend.
And they're there every day.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily every day, but every week. I mean, they're there. And like clockwork, I don't like working daytime.
You don't like working
I
daytime?
don't like working daytime.
Oh, see, and I love daytime. I would rather do daytime because to me, I want to get to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I want to hear your story. Where at night, you're just, you're slinging and
Hustle
going.
and bustle.
Yeah, you're slinging and going.
It's harder to have those conversations and
Yes.
get to know that person at nighttime.
And Chris, for you, what's been
Well, I have a lot of things that I appreciate that I've learned working in this industry and working in Fort Worth, and the community has taught me a lot. But the one thing that I will never forget is I met my husband where I work.
Really?
In the bars here, yeah, Club
Okay.
Reflection. And
You met your husband at Reflections.
I did. Yeah.
Nice. And
And
what
then we
year
got
was
married
that?
a year and a half later.
Y'all got married a year and a half later.
Yeah, after we met.
Nice.
Yeah. But I mean, there's other things too that the infamous TABC, bartending is fun and you can make it fun. It is stressful, but you also have to make sure that you're covering your own ass, that you're minding every single law that TABC monitors and they enforce strictly, because the slightest mistake, you're going to get zinged, and it hurts because I've been zinged for no reason.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also I have learned that as far as conflict resolution with a customer, that there's so many different approaches, and a lot of it is with conflict resolution in a bar at nighttime, it's like talking to a toddler a little bit.
Oh, not the toddler. Not the toddler.
Just because when you mix alcohol in with the mix and emotions get really sensitive and they elevate very quickly, and you just gotta best approach is listening and empathizing and making sure that either you can figure out that they can let it go and move on with their night, or maybe they have to end their night there. And as a bartender, it's not the easiest call to have to cut somebody off.
No.
But at the same time,
to try and figure out whether you should approach them as a friend and say, "What? Let's stop this going on," as opposed to, "No, you need to go now."
oh, absolutely.
And
Some of them need to hear that, but you can't approach it at that time like that, because a toddler, it'll throw up some interesting reactions, and
That is very true.
yeah. And the one thing that I wish that people understood more about the bartending position is that when you do get cut off, it's not a punishment. It's because we're responsible for your actions from there until the time you hit your bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the law will come after the bartender
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
for over serving. So,
We all know the gays love to drink.
yep,
We love to drink.
sure do.
Bartisha, what about you? You've been around the bars long also, but what's one reason that you've been still
Well,
sticking around these bars?
I needed a job, so that was the main thing.
Yes, bitch.
I had to pay the bills.
She's
So.
like, I need to make the coin.
Make that money, honey.
And make that money. And No, I like the community. I like everyone, and it's it's a community. You know the people. You're not gonna like everyone. Everyone's not gonna like you, but
Absolutely.
most everybody gets along really well.
Mhm.
So, and you see the same people, and it becomes a family. So, and who you work with is like your family.
For you, you're still
It's like me and Rustin. How long have we known each other? 40 years.
Right, but like I said, I'm not that old.
We're exactly the same age.
exactly the same.
Exactly the same
Well,
age.
I didn't bring my. We're not gonna subtract or add numbers, but you're still around and your work with Bartisha
Working it changes now, yeah.
How did y'all enjoy working together? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just a couple of old women at work. Just bounce off of each other.
I mean, you got to feed off each other's energy. 'Cause
Yeah.
Correct.
Kevin and I used to work day shift on Sundays together, and I mean, we always had a lot of fun together.
Hmm.
And there was 2 bartenders during day shift.
There used to be on Sundays, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
The bars used to be really busy. There was nothing else to do, so everybody. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all this computer games and all that stuff. If you wanted to talk to anybody or meet anybody,
to the bar.
you had to go to the bar. You had to
to
go out.
find them.
You had to go out
Yeah.
and meet someone,
I remember-
and it was fun. Oh my god, it was fun.
I
If you
remember
weren't at the bar, you're at the park.
Yeah, one of the two.
Oh my gosh, I think we're gonna have some stories about the park.
Well, let me start off by saying y'all need to stay out of the parks because those police are enforcing them, and no one needs that charge.
Right.
No.
The parks are for children.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have been saying that there was gonna be like a massive, roundup, and I'm like, it's fucking hot outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so hot.
Yeah.
Like I can barely stand going out the front door, and I'm like, I didn't bring my inhaler. Like anybody that has asthma right now is literally gonna suffer right now. Like I can't. Girl,
Yeah.
it's hot. Make sure you gotta take some bottled waters.
I didn't even want to go get this coffee. I'm not going to the park.
Yeah.
But back in the day, on Sunday you went to the park first. We went to Rainley Hill, laid out until noon. Beer bus started at 2:00. You were at the bar by 2:00. They had a keg of beer. You paid $2 for a cup. You drank it till the keg was gone, and everybody's there. If you wanted to talk to anybody, meet anybody, whatever, everyone was there. Everyone.
On Sundays, on South Jennings.
Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Yeah, it was.
And what park was this?
Oh,
This was
Forest Park. We go to
trampling
Rainley
around
Hill.
South Jennings. And,
Yeah,
well,
but we go to Rainley Hill and lay out in the sun. A whole bunch of us, lay out in the sun until like 12, 1. Beer bus started at 2. Everybody's there at 2:00, and it went until the keg floated. It started at the corral. The keg floated there first. Then we went to the lumber company, or 651. Everybody had a beer bus. 651 to the lumber company, and
Sundays,
and if you
yeah.
lasted until the keg floated at the lumber company, you were trashed. I mean, you were trashed.
That sounds like a good fucking time. That sounds like a good time.
Oh, it was. And
it was.
It was tons of people. It was. I mean, because like I said, everybody went out. If you wanted to talk to anybody, meet anybody, nobody had cell phones.
Yeah.
And if you want to meet anyone or talk to anybody, your friends.
I mean,
your
it really
friends.
was like, who's that? Let's go introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore.
No, people are like this all the time. This is all you see is a phone in front of their face. No one lives in reality or real time.
I mean, technology has been our worst enemy because you don't need to go to the bar.
For a gay bar,
you
yeah,
could
absolutely.
Uber Eats a 6-pack of beer and get on Grindr and find you a boyfriend for an hour.
Everything's on the phone.
Yeah, and the bars now are not. There's not like gay bars. Whatever. Anybody can go. The gays can go to any bar now, and it doesn't matter. They can hold hands. They can do. We made it very easy to be
Yes.
Accessible.
accessible and out and open, and it's
I,
used to. I remember at the corral, we go to the corral, and they had a red light, and if the red light came on, that meant nobody be touching, nobody be kissing, whatever. The police were coming in, and if they caught you, they could arrest you immediately and take you to jail.
Wow.
Yeah, sure did
Damn.
And that was at the corral.
at the corral.
Wow.
There's some bars in Detroit that I've been to like that, but the red light came on for different reasons.
Oh yeah.
I remember the Ronda Wall of Food.
Ronda
when
May,
she,
yeah.
Ronda May, when she used to have the shows over at the Corral.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling y'all earlier, you know, when we were talking briefly, I remember going to the Corral and performing there because, oh yeah. Oh, honey, yes.
Do we have pictures?
Really?
We're gonna need
Absolutely.
it for the. We're gonna
and
need it.
I would do it for the Wall of Food, all for charity. And I also remember, like, when I used to perform at Magnolia Station and I would do shows. Do y'all remember Johnny, Katrina?
Yes.
We were talking about Johnny, Big Johnny. I remember one time
Oh yeah.
Big Johnny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was showing up late and Johnny grabbed me, was like, we're going to beat this face real quick. Beat my face, got dressed, and I was up next on stage. I mean, that's how far back. And mind you, I wasn't 21 when I got into Magnolia Station. But that, I mean, that I go that far back where even at the Corral when something about the Corral,
I think everyone grew up at the Corral. That's where I first went out to. It's a Corral.
It was
I was like
just
18, 19 years old.
ashtrays and cocktails on the bar and that cigarette stank on the walls. It was just,
It was a dive, but everybody went through there.
Shit. When I moved to Fort Worth, they were still smoking in the bars.
Yep.
And when I started at Club Reflection, we were still smoking inside. And I was like, man, this is like taking a step back in time.
yeah, like literally, like I had went to an IHOP in Grand Prairie, and they're like smoking or not, and I was like, "Is that a thing? Like,
How
is
long
it
have we been
still
smoke-free?
here?"
Tarrant County has been smoke free for what? 7 years? 6
Seven
years?
Not that,
years.
yeah, not that long.
7
Yeah,
or 8
Has
years.
it, has it really?
we were the
I
like
can't
the
even
last
keep
one.
track anymore. I just know that it.
It just seems like to me, I think that was a bit late.
Tarrant County was like the last one that went.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that because Dallas started first,
Yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
rubbed off
And then
on,
Fort Worth.
into Fort Worth.
Yep.
But yeah, I remember with the Wall of Food, I started doing shows
Shows.
there, Magnolia, and I would have all my friends come out, and we would have some good old times. Now, did anybody work at Crossroads?
I started at Crossroads.
You started at Crossroads,
I
Mhm.
drank at Crossroads.
and I drank a lot at Crossroads.
It started off being the Come Along Inn,
Mm-hmm.
and it was open from 7 o'clock. I'd open at 7 o'clock in the morning, but it was a straight bar,
Yeah.
and it was mainly homeless people bar. There would be backpacks and
Spreads.
satchels and sleeping bags and everything all around the wall, and it was the Come Along Inn, and we called it the Scum Along Inn.
Scum on.
Scum Along Inn, and they it eventually crossed over to become a gay bar, and then it was the Crossroads, and I went to work at the Crossroads. Of course, that was much later on, but I worked there at the Crossroads in the 515 the whole time it was open, and now I've been at Changes since the 515 closed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when it was 515, you were working there.
Yes. As a matter of fact, that infamous video, I think, was my first week of actually bartending.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh no! Like I started off working as a barback for Adam Granados. I saw that he had posted something. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm in there on the weekends. Like, I'll just barback for him. It's not a big deal. And
No, were you bartending or were you a barback?
I was a barbacking at the 515.
at the 515
For Adam.
with the infamous video.
Oh no, I was a bartender. That was like my
Okay.
second or third night of bartending on my own.
I want to see this video.
Oh, it's great.
I post it every year, and he gets mad at me every year because it comes up in my feeds on Facebook.
And George posts it every year and shares it.
I mean, it is kind of a comical video, but at the time, like I was not very interested in how it exploded. But I was
it's
more
still
concerned
exploding.
about people like thinking that like I was hating on a trans woman, and I'm like that they don't even know anything about my life. Like they can't because I have trans family members. Like that's not the issue.
Or even the story of why it transgressed
yeah.
into that.
Yeah, it was something. It was what does she go by now? I forget her name.
I don't remember.
Holly Hilton was her name at the time, so we're gonna call her
But
Holly.
it's not anymore.
So Holly actually, she was when she was younger, she was a lot wilder, and I didn't realize what kind of history or name she had for herself at the time, like because everyone kind of knew her and her antics, but I didn't, and I wasn't going to put up with it. And everything was fine until that moment in the video when it was caught. We were just walking towards the door and she slipped, and I thought she was trying to hit me, and I was like, nope, and took her out the door. But we're fine now. I wish nothing but the best for her.
Cheers.
We hugged it out about a year later. Everything's good, but it wasn't. I was terrified of that video.
But that video is like the gift that keeps on giving.
Every year, I gift it to him every year.
We need to label what day that was, because it's like that day that it
was the
starts
4th of
getting
July,
shipped.
It was the 4th of July.
And her dress was pink, right? I think, or something. We'll make sure to throw in the video when editing gets done. But it's a funny video. Well, it gets shared a lot. So
I think I have it.
you have it saved? Oh my gosh!
Probably.
You should have it. Out the door. You got to go.
We'll have to show you the video later though on it, because it is cool.
Well, she was
throw
acting.
somebody out.
So you were at 515, and then you were at the first bar that you started working at.
Working at was full-time was Best Friends.
Best Friends. How was it working at Best Friends?
I loved it. I have some great friends that are lesbians, whether they're Lipstick or Bull Dyke. I have some great lifelong friends, and I know that if I ever need anything, I can call on them.
Like a carpenter.
Yeah, I mean, it just
I
to me
forgot. I
it was
used to work at
perfect.
the lesbian
I
bar.
never felt
waiter
intimidated.
and
I
a
never
bartender.
felt, because a lot of people always say, I think you said earlier, you were a little scared.
I mean, it's common, right? Maybe.
Well, but see, that's where that I think we have a problem in our community, because we're our worst enemies too, because we're always picking on each other
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But
and degrading each other,
Absolutely.
and we don't grow from there.
Absolutely. I completely 100% agree with you on that, because when we're at the bars, and I as a matter of fact, I think it was on Sunday night after the show, because I performed on Sunday. And so I was in the back patio with a couple of friends that they're friends, and they were determining, are you gonna talk to the guy or are you gonna talk to him? We have to figure out what's going on. I was like, why are you arguing? First of all, I was like, if you guys are friends and you guys are arguing about one guy to see who's gonna talk to him first, I said, at some point it cycles where everybody has always said the same person at least once, and to bash on each other where we're on the same boat together and we're throwing cannonballs at each other. Why?
yes.
Why are we doing that? Why do we have to feel the need? We should be empowering each other, encouraging each other, uplifting each other versus tearing
each other down.
Yeah.
Like that Fort Worth's community is like, when I moved here and I started working in the bar, I was really, really shocked to hear some of the things about trans people that come out of Texans' mouths. It is disgusting. And one of them being a former employer.
Wow.
And even, I mean, Chris is probably the youngest one sitting here, but even myself, I don't mean to degrade a certain segment of our community, but I think it's a lack of education on my part, because this whole pronoun thing has got me, I'm confused. I meet you as a girl one minute, and then you come back and you want to correct me, and your name is now this. Well, I'm old Hank. I remember that name. I remember the name I met you by.
That's why everyone is baby.
Baby and honey.
Baby
If I
and
call you
honey.
baby and honey, I don't remember your name, or I'm trying not to offend you.
If I don't remember something, I was recently corrected. They're like, no, it's he. And I was like, okay, I just got corrected. And it happens, but we
And if you corrected it's not an insult. It's just a correction so you can help learn. That's it.
And now I know.
Yeah.
And now I know. So from now on, it's like he. Or if I'm not sure what they're going about, I just like, oh,
Mhm.
they, them, or just they, like, hey, or
That's where I'm like you. It's all, that's all insignificant in my mind for some reason, and I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, I mean, I respect whoever wants to be identified as whatever, but I'm not going to beat myself up trying to figure out whether to say him, her, they, we, whatever. You know, I mean, that's fine if that's what you identify as, but if I just happen to say him or her, I mean, you know, don't fault me for that because, you know, unless you're wearing a sign that says I am this, you know, you're not going to know because everybody's different, you know, and
Everybody used to be girl. Back in the day.
everybody was girl, yeah.
Everybody was girl. All the boys were girl.
It's
A
a,
girl, everybody was girl.
it's a lot of
Everybody had a girl's name. I mean, their
bitch.
nickname was a girl's name. Yeah.
I still say it. And back then, there was even.
There was always a couple of guys that were like, "Don't call me girl," another girl. I was like,
Some gay guys.
okay, Miss Things.
Your masculinity
Right.
is sensitive. I get
Yeah.
it.
We get you, Miss Thing. Yeah. But I had forgotten that I used to work in the girls' bars. As a waiter, I wasn't a bartender, but do all three name changes of Partners, Tequila Sunrise, and the Woodworks. I worked through all three name changes of that. And I was just a waiter. But everyone would say, "You're working at the girls' bar? Why are you working there? You're never going to make any money." Da, da, da. I made great money. And I loved my girls. I got along great with the girls, you know, and we had a good time. I'd have a drink on every one of their tables, and I'd get their drinks with them, you know, because we weren't allowed 2 drinks a night. But, and it was great. I mean, I loved working there, you know. But, and, you know, the guys were like, "You're working with the girls?" And it was always this back and forth thing. It's like, I get along great with the girls.
I used to get that a
Yeah.
lot too.
Yeah.
It's interesting because a lot of the younger kids, like, they don't care anymore. Like,
Oh,
when
they
come
don't.
into the bar,
They don't
they're
care.
like-
You can do whatever you want to. You can do boys. You can do
it's
girls.
like
you can
when
do
they
whatever.
see like some of those things that, like, you know, like how we give other community members, like the lesbians and carpenters and stuff like that, like how we joke around like that. They learn from us why we do that because they don't understand it. They don't get it. They're like, huh? All I see is my mom.
Well, we at the 651 for the longest time we were known as the girl haters
Yeah.
or whatever because I mean it was a cowboy bar, but and there were a few people that didn't get along with a few people or whatever, but it grouped us all like against each other, the girls and the guys, and like I'd go over to whatever it was, Partners or whatever at the time, you know, and have, you know, a lot of lesbian friends, you know, and they knew that, you know, I mean, you're welcome in there, just, you know, but it's like, you know, they get, well, I don't know, you know, we're not going to go over there, you know, and then people go, well, we don't want her here anyway, you know, and it just would fight back and forth all the time. And if it came down to individually, each person, it wasn't like that. You know, I mean, there wasn't a group thing of we don't like lesbians here. You know, it was just a cowboy thing, I guess. But
Did you guys have a lot of fights back in the day? Like when you
Come
first
in?
started working in the bar, like fights in the bar, like brawls or like
no, not really. I mean,
just kind of curious on how that's progressed through the years.
I mean, we, for the most part, we had, I mean, during the week, we didn't have a door person. Weekends, we did. But it stayed pretty calm. It really did, surprisingly. And, well, in 1986, when it, you know, the building was an old, used to be a bar on one side and a laundromat on the other side. And then when Billy Ray, who was the owner at the time, talked City Vending into spending $300,000 in rebuilding the place, which that was a miracle in itself. But when it was rebuilt, we went way over what we expected customer-wise. I mean, we brought in good money, good crowds. And we started having dance lessons from the people at Billy Bob's, and at that time, that's when Billy Bob's was real popular. And so on weekends, we would have the straight overflow from Billy Bob's would come to the 651 because they had a great dance floor and, good DJs. And so it was kind of a mixed place for a while. But I don't know what point I was getting to, but.
Oh, I had asked about the fights in the bar.
Oh, fights in the bars. Yeah, but that being a lot of straight people coming in, it never really was a problem. Because I guess that they knew coming in that they were going to a gay bar, but everybody got along. And there was, occasionally people that would fight, but not very often. We didn't have that problem that often.
Happened more often when everybody started wearing their feelings on their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say in the last probably 10, 15 years, I think fights are a constant thing at the bar now.
Really?
It became common.
Yes.
It was very common because I know back even at Crossroads, it was like anger.
Mm-hmm.
And the people were just angry and they were lashing out. And I remember Rob, when he was working there, he went behind the bar and pulled out his stick and was like, "You're out. You're out." And like,
Yeah.
it was bad. It was really bad. And even now with the younger generation, you have a lot of straights walking into gay bars, and it's like, well, wait a minute. You're walking into a gay bar. You better stay your homophobic butt at home. Can't come into a gay bar being homophobic.
I've noticed
Right.
a lot of those straights on the weekends that are coming, or even the weeknights that are coming into the bars, are swingers.
Oh,
That's getting huge.
That's
It
true.
is. There's a lot of
A
them.
lot. Yeah. There's this one couple that, when I'm in the back and they come in and they greet me and they're like, being nice, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I know that high.
Uh-huh.
That hello, like, no.
I see the eyes. I know that look.
Yeah. It's crazy because now there is that one married couple that the wife lets the husband dress up in drag. And I don't know, what I'm talking about.
I do.
But it's very different now than it was 10, 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And it's like people are experimenting and, being open-minded and open relationships and thruples and poly and,
Mhm.
there's just...
There's less fear of expressing your sexuality and like things that you want to try out or see if it's something that, because it does stimulate something mentally, but like in the action, is that going to like do it, or is it just a mental thing? So, kudos for everyone for being brave enough to
do that. I think
vocalize those desires.
To have, to be married and to let your husband, imagine a straight woman, to let your husband do drag and take him to the gay club. And she comes in there and she's high heels and dressed up to the T, and I'm sure they're probably sharing clothes or something at some point, but the bitch is to the T.
Yeah.
She comes in looking cute, and they're out just dancing. They're not always together, or they're separate and then they get together, and it's just they're living life.
Yeah.
And
I love that for them.
Yeah. It's you literally run into different things now than what you used to. And I've been approached several times by couples, and I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like, I'm all right. Like I try not to get involved in shit where I eat. And it's just something I don't want to do that, because eventually you're gonna see them again and whatnot. But you got married because you met your husband now at your job, and so
yeah,
you're married.
I'm not legally married. No.
But you've been together
27 years,
27 years
and I'm in a throuple.
and a throuple. So there's thruples too. And I have a lot of friends that are in thruples and they are they're happily married. I call it married because if they've been together for so long, it's like
Well, in the state of Texas, if you have
6 months,
if
right?
you have a joint bank account, I don't know the time frame, but I mean you're basically married in the eyes of Texas.
Yeah. But 27 years, baby, you are married.
Mhm.
You are.
I've been with my partner for like 40 something years. That was 19.
Damn,
Good
bitch.
for you.
I know who you're
Good for
telling.
you.
You've
That's
been with
awesome.
your partner since you were 19.
I'm 63, so
Good for you.
And where did you guys meet? Did you guys meet
we met at the Corral.
at the corral? Wow. I always have memories of the corral. And do you remember that? I don't know if you'll remember, but there was that one light pole that with the fluorescent light. It was awful. And then the parking lot. And so every time that you would walk up to the side of the door on the left, you would always see that fluorescent light up there. How was it that the fire started? Does anybody really know?
Electrical.
Electrical. Must have been that light.
I remember the
It must
Corral
have been
when
that light.
No, when they moved the drag room used to be basically a closet,
Mhm.
and then they redid their patio, and they moved the drag room over here, and they ran all new electrical and a whole new panel, and supposedly it started in that area.
I don't have like I know it was a wooden fence around the patio the last time that I remember going, but I would go frequently. But I never went to the patio because I didn't have to go outside to smoke. We just smoke at the bar.
Mhm.
What bar was out there? Oh, okay.
So
On the patio part.
yeah, the patio,
Not the patio bar, the patio
Yeah.
itself. Okay.
And so I never made it out there. I was always inside, and I would come ready when I was going to perform for the Wall of Food, and yeah, I had fond memories.
You never did anything on the North 40
No,
when they used to do the festivals?
no,
Ah,
no, because I was maybe still I was 20, I think 20. I started early. I started early. I don't even know, but I guess it doesn't matter now. But I started going to Magnolia Station when I was 16, yeah, 16 years old. I don't encourage anyone to do that, but
Oh, it wouldn't fly today.
yeah,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Your bartender wouldn't even like. Your
yeah,
bartender would flag you.
yeah. So everybody thought I was 21, and then I was turning. In reality, I was turning 19, and I was like almost 30, and I feel like I kind of. I don't know. I still look young to some people, but my liver's 150. 150. You used to work with. You did some work with the Quintanilla family, with Selena's family, right? Tell us about that. How was that?
It was fine. It was after I left the 651, I went to work with a photographer, and we traveled around the state of Texas mainly and did glamour photography a lot of the time, most of the year. And we would book salons in small cities or whatever and go basically set up our studio, and the hairdressers would, do their clients' hairs, and I'd do the makeup, and Phil would do the pictures. And we booked the Selena Salon and Boutique in Corpus Christi and in San Antonio. And that was in 97. And I knew of Selena, because she died in 95, I think it was. But I didn't know that's who we were going to see. But, her family. And we got to Corpus, and that family, I'm sure it still is to this day, like royalty down there. But it was a real interesting deal because the Salon and Boutique was in an old house. And we were there setting up, and, there was a couple of people there. And then All of a sudden, there was a security guard out back, and then somebody out front. And then they went around and started closing the blinds up and stuff. And they're just about here. Because one day we did just the family pictures, and the next day we did the salon clients and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was so Hollywood, hide everything, sneak in the back door so people wouldn't catch them coming in, and it was funny, but they were all really nice people, really nice people. Selena's brother, he opened a bar in Corpus, and it was the neatest bar I've ever been in my life. I mean, he had the people from Disney do the lights and the sound, and I mean, the only thing that I even recognized as far as in any other bar was I saw a big barrel trash can over in the corner one time. But this place was all different levels and stuff. And the neatest thing about it was I was sitting looking, and I kept, there were these holes in the wall, and I'd see people, looking out, and I thought, well, I wonder what's up there. So I went up there and found out that it was the bathrooms. And those portals were above the sinks in the bathroom to look out onto the bar. Everywhere else in the place was mirrors, but not right in front of the sink. You could sit and look out. And each stall was like floor to ceiling, doors, so I mean, it was all private. But it was the strangest thing, but it was really ingenious. It was really neat the way they did that. But yeah, they spent a lot of money on that bar.
Nice. So you had a good experience, being gay at a young age and working around. I almost feel like, back then you always had a gay hairstylist or a gay makeup artist. And, you know, even to this day, we still face a lot of backlash. And I feel like it's even worse now than it was growing up. Like the homophobia that we face every day, and transphobia, and it's I was fortunate where I had good people, surrounded by good people as I was growing up, as I was younger, when I started my transition at a very young age. And so, you know, the experience, being at a gay bar, you feel safe, you're in a safe space, and it takes a toll, like just working at a bar, but feeling safe because you don't have to deal with the phobia that's outside of the four walls.
True.
Well, what I think is confusing to me really is because we've come so far as gay bars don't have to really be gay bars because everybody's open in straight bars and stuff like that, at restaurants. But with all that going on, then you turn around to the banning drag, and and that's all bad and wrong, and trans people are bad. I mean, I don't know what turned that back to trying to make it unacceptable. It doesn't make sense to me. You come so far and with acceptance, and then why try to make something bad out of what isn't?
And what's been around for so long.
Yeah.
There's a lot, like back in the 70s, 80s, we weren't having, nobody was trying to ban drag.
Right.
Mind you, back maybe the 70s, 60s, or, having even a gay club was not okay. And you could get in a lot of trouble. And some places now, like even, except for Texas, I feel like Texas is.
I feel like it's because it's not a well-kept secret anymore, and they don't like to see it. Yeah. Like, that's why I feel like people, I mean, you're always going to find people resistant to change, but change is good. Like change is needed. It's necessary. And, you know, every time we get it right, or, you know, like we're presented in a positive way to the world, it feels as though like it's mostly the right that comes after us. And, you know, they really try to make a point to demonize us.
But I don't know if we always.
And it's just different. It's not specifically the whole community, it's certain portions of it now.
I don't feel like we get what you're. I don't think we get the representation that we get when you look at movies or television programs. Oh God, this is going to come out really bad. Why do they have to pick the Nelliest on the planet? We are not all Nelly.
Right.
Why do you have to pick, you know, the flamboyant queen? It's just they don't put us in a positive light in that sense.
Yeah.
Where most heterosexuals would see that on TV, so they think we're all that way.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Have
is
you guys
very
ever
true.
watched the show The New Normal? It was a Ryan Murphy show that like debuted a few years back, but it only made it through, I think, one season. But it is
I've heard of it, but I didn't
Nene
see it.
Nash was on it. Like it's an awesome show, but it's basically, it shows you a gay married couple, male, and adopting like this mother and a single mother who has a young daughter into their family to help them, you know, the mother was actually giving them or being their surrogate, and then they ended up falling in love with the two together, so they incorporate them into their life. And I mean, it's nothing, it's all about love, but it is a very good story, and it shows every aspect of, you know, a gay male on TV. Like there's obviously the one that likes football and the other one that prefers interior design.
That we cut the lawn and we wash the dishes,
Yes.
and we cook dinner and we have adult conversations with each other. But I hate TV for that, and movies, because I think they stigmatize us.
Yeah. There's a new movie that I think it was only select theaters, and you might have seen the commercials for it, where you have a guy and a really handsome guy, and it's like they fall in love with each other. And I still haven't gone to go see the movie, but I do want to go see that movie just because it's the very opposite gays, and they just happen to fall in love. And so I do want to go see that movie. I'll make sure to leave that in the bio. So just for the name of the movie. What is one message that you would give to the younger generation?
Oh Lord.
Any of you?
Stop and listen to the people that have been around for a while and hear what we're saying. Don't just sit there and nod your head and say yes. We've been through a lot. We've seen a lot. You know, it's kind of like when you're younger and your mom and dad always want to correct you and tell you, no, don't do it that way. But of course, you think you know everything. That's not the case.
Yeah.
I remember going to a bar in a back alley because you couldn't go in the front door. Or have a bar with windows on it. Couldn't have that.
Oh, no.
Or you had to show your ID when you knocked on the door, and they slid it and looked at your ID.
Yeah.
So remember, we may be old, but we have seen and done a lot.
Yeah. I never had to show my ID to go into a bar, but the fact that we are still dealing with things to this day is just crazy. What about you, Chris?
I would say for you young hoes and that like to be hoeing or like to get slutted out, whatever your preference is, they have tons of resources available in this community for you to protect yourself, which includes DoxyPep and PrEP. And if you're not taking those meds, then you shouldn't be hoeing. Not unprotected.
What about you, Bartisha?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Drawing a blank.
Well, I think I would tell younger people to if you're when you're in a relationship, or even if it's just a friendship, and you go to a movie and you're laughing about something and having a good time, absorb it, remember it, because everybody has the good old days. But if you can recognize that these are the good old days to come, later on, there's so many times I wish I could. I wish I could be in that same feeling of just sitting around and laughing with somebody, and remember that these can be the good days.
Making those memories.
Yeah.
I mean, I constantly am telling my mom, I'm like, we need to make some memories together.
Yeah.
But that goes for all of my relationships. Like, we need to make memories, and everybody, like, positive impacts on the community are important too. Volunteering.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think that there's been a lot, like, I don't think that I see as many younger folks volunteering for the community and doing things like a community cleanup, or, you know, when was the last time, like,
Liberty does have, I think they still have it, I'm not sure, but they would clean up the parks.
oh, really? I
They
didn't
still,
know
yeah.
that.
They still have that.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
And they do the neighborhood too.
And I know, the neighborhood cleanup, but they would, Kenneth is actually in charge of that, but Kenneth is actually about to move. So what they would do, they would go to the cruising parks and they would clean up.
Mm.
And so they would get bags and stuff and leave, like, condoms and whatnot. But
In the wrong spots.
but yeah, there is I think the neighborhood is still around, but I don't know the future of the cleanup since Kenneth is moving to Connecticut and his go away party was last week. I think it was last week. But Kenneth, we wish you the best up in Connecticut, and I know we have a place to go visit now. I think that a lot of the younger generation, we need to educate them and tell them that we are on the same boat. We're together. We need to be uplifting each other. We need to not hate each other. There's like some people that hate each other so much and for nothing.
There's one thing that I used to say. Well, it's been a few people that I've said this to, but like, working the happy hour with Kevin, like I would come across a lot of older people, like older regulars that were just so grumpy all the time.
Still are.
And yeah, and would, just tear anyone down that looked like they were living their life really. Mm-hmm. Instead of like celebrating that, they'd be like, oh, fucking bitch. But, as you age, and you become an elder in the community, mm-hmm. It's your responsibility to support and encourage and, cheer your fellow community members on. Like, you need to be more of a role model.
Yeah. And there is some younger gays out there that will look at somebody older and then bash them. And it's like, wait a minute.
You're going to have them same shoes on too one day.
I say that all the time.
One day, but...
One day, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You'll get
if
to do
it wasn't for us, for the older generation that, of gays, honey, you wouldn't be here right now. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't get to walk into a gay club or a gay bar.
Or a regular bar and hold hands and
period. You wouldn't be
or
able
date
to
a
do
boy
any of
or a
that.
girl or
Walk
either
down the
one, whichever one
street.
you want. Yeah.
And my message to all the younger generation gays, you respect your older gays because they have been fighting and they are still fighting to this day to give you the opportunity to go walk hands on hands with your boyfriend, your husband, to go to a park openly, freely gay. And the older gays have been fighting and they are fighting to this day. To this day, we still have some of our older gays that are trying to make a difference and trying to make it better because it's consistently, I feel like we're everything's being reversed. Like you have had mentioned earlier, like we are still literally fighting.
Mhm.
It's 2025,
And it shouldn't. It should.
and
There shouldn't be such.
stuff is reversing when you were talking about the drag ban, and then the bathroom bill that's being introduced now, and it's consistently a fight.
Mhm.
It's a fight that you guys have been fighting for so long. To
The
this
young
day.
ones don't realize it's going to be their fight one day
Yeah.
because we're going to
And-
pass and they're going to have to continue or just get railroaded. Like they don't, and that's not going to happen.
Or like I marched with ACT UP years ago, and I mean I don't know if everybody has sat down and read, looked, listened, researched this big beautiful bill that just passed. Because I mean if it all goes into play, I mean all PrEP,
OxyPep,
all
all of the
the-
things
all of
that
it's
the
gone.
community like enjoys for free.
those free condoms are gone.
Yep.
Mhm. And one thing,
Your free
like,
testing gone.
yeah, and a lot of people that I talk to with organizations, funding is like everything is at a standstill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so if you have an extra dollar, donate to the Help Center, CAN, AHF. Like, I mean, these organizations are organizations that are literally struggling right now because some of them, their funding is literally about to
Non-accessible,
just
yeah.
be non-accessible at all.
So that's where that's where I agree that, I did my ACT UP.
Mm.
And I don't have the stamina to get out there anymore and do what I did in New York and Florida. But the younger generation's got to realize things are changing and not changing in a good way.
Mm-mm. What I've been relating as a message to all the gays is they're coming for the trans right now. At this moment, they are bashing the 1% of the population, and they keep coming for us.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, they have it set up in their mind where they think that coming for the trans is going to lower gas prices. It's going to lower your grocery bill.
It's all just a distraction.
That the percentage of alone is going to come down. We don't have that much power.
Mhm.
The 1% of the population is not that powerful to to make a difference in your gas prices.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I ask from every single gay, they're coming for us now, and after they're done with us, they're going to come for you.
Yep.
They're going to go for the next 1%.
That certainly will.
And so, yes, that is one message I do have. We need our allies now, not just our gay friends, not just our neighbors, not just the people that are surrounded by us. We need everybody to support us now and to stand by each other. And as soon as they come and try to finish us, they're going to come for every single buddy else.
Yep.
Everyone else.
No one's immune.
Nobody's immune. But yes. So I want to thank you guys for being here today and for being able to share some stories, and hopefully we can do another video at some other time where we can talk about other different topics that we didn't touch today. So thank you so much, everyone. And I know that some of us have to go to work. Kevin is on his way to go to work. But tell everybody where you work at and what days you're typically there.
I'm Rustin, and I work at Changes on Monday and Tuesday nights.
And I'm
Slowest
Bart.
nights, but they're fun
Yeah.
because we're crazy.
Hell
And
yeah.
I'm Bart, and I work at Changes on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night, and it is fun. It is the slower nights, but not always. You never know in Fort Worth when people are going to go out. There's no
Those
rhyme or
slower
reason.
nights that like you find some interesting folks that
You certainly do.
I know.
And Chris?
I don't really know because I don't have a consistent schedule. So I'm usually there a couple nights a week.
At Club Reflection.
At Club Reflection, correct, yes.
And typically when he's there, he's either in the front or the back patio, the back bar.
Yeah, front. Inside for sure, but well, 1, 2, or 3.
Well, 1, 2, or 3. So anywhere inside.
Yeah.
And Kevin,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Club Reflection.
Club Reflections.
Happy hour.
Happy hour. You guys come and see them, come support them, go see them either at Changes or Club Reflections. There was a couple of other people that I wanted them to be here, but they couldn't be here. Donovan, Jacob was supposed to be here also, but he was in class and had to finish class. So thank you so much for being here, guys. Hopefully that, with the story of the history of working in these gay bars and the history that the young generation doesn't really ever hear about. They don't know about these bars and what it's like, and the things that you guys have seen. And I'm sure that there's a lot more that we could probably sit here and talk all day about.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, lots more.
Some good stories. But hopefully we can come back and then bring some more people, like Jacob and Donovan, and kind of get some more stories out. And hopefully we can do another session. But thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thank you for
Thanks for
having
having
us.
Oh,
Okay, so when I made that
As-
comment about the trans people, like